If you've been playing Modern Warfare 2 for any amount of time, you'll have undoubtedly realised that there is a lot of cheese and a lot of BS that is leaving you more frustrated than the guy best friend at an all-girls sleepover. But don't worry, because in this video I want to give you my best Modern Warfare 2 tips and tricks on some mechanics that if you get to grips with them, you are going to improve and get better at Modern Warfare 2 almost instantly. Now before we get too far into the video, I do just want to remind you guys that I am currently engaged in a really ridiculous slap bet with my brother-in-law, whereby he is going to slap me super hard in the face if I do not hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm not sure how possible this goal is actually going to be. However, if you just take the half a second to subscribe, there's a very slight chance that maybe I will be slapping him. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get on with the rest of the video. Now, the first tip I want to give you is how you actually take corners. Taking corners in this game can be very risky because a lot of people like to hold lines of sight. And what I see a lot of people doing, and what I used to do myself, is when I head round a corner, I wait for my gun to be aimed down sight before I press the trigger, and this is actually costing you valuable milliseconds. And I say valuable milliseconds because the time to kill in Modern Warfare 2 is so incredibly fast. So what I suggest that you do is, as you take a corner, you hold both the left trigger and the right trigger, or right mouse and left mouse, at exactly the same time. What this means is you'll get a few shots off that are going to be at hip fire, but as you ADS, that hip fire is going to tighten and then you'll be able to get all your shots on target. However, those first initial few shots, if there is someone around that corner that's very close to you, you're going to have more of a chance of those shots hitting than not shooting at all. And this can quite often lead to winning a lot more gunfights. So all you have to do is, when you take these corners, make sure that you're shooting and aiming at the same time to maximize your chances of bullets hitting that target before you get hit by their bullets. Moving on, I want to talk about the animations and how they're getting you killed. There's so many different animations in this game that once you start them, you cannot stop them, and in a lot of cases, this is getting many of you killed. For example, if you dolphin dive, there is a huge delay between the point of actually starting the dolphin dive and being able to aim down sights of your gun. Not only that, but when you are dolphin diving, you're telegraphing your movement very, very obviously. What this means is a lot of people are trying to dolphin dive from cover to cover. However, if a sniper is holding that line of sight, the trajectory of your body is so easily read, and all a sniper has to do is predict where you're going to land and then just pop you in the head. This means that things like dolphin diving are very niche for the situations that they're actually going to be useful. And as a general rule of thumb, I would actually suggest that you steer well clear of these movement mechanics. The same goes for sliding. Sliding makes you lose a hell of a lot of momentum, and whereby in previous Call of Duties you would be able to cancel the slide, that is now gone in Modern Warfare 2, which means you are locked into the full slide and the full animation, and again, you will not be able to aim down sight until the end of the slide. Unless you have like an SMG or a shotgun that is set up for hip fire, you're not going to be effective when you're sliding into combat. So again, only use sliding in very niche situations. And finally, on the subject of animations, you want to be really careful when you're calling in your kill streaks. Anything from a VTOL to a UAV or a counter UAV are all going to have an animation. So I cannot count the amount of times where I have popped a UAV because I've just got it without even thinking, and whilst I'm pulling the screen up to press the button and my pants are down, that's when the enemy comes around the corner and absolutely obliterates me. The thing is, you really need to be careful when you're calling in your streaks, and the same goes for reloading. Reloading cannot be cancelled in Modern Warfare 2. So if you need to reload, you need to make sure that you're in a very safe position, same as with your score streaks. Anything that you do in this game, you have to really think about, because you are not going to be able to cancel any of these animations, and that will leave you very exposed and very easy to kill. Now, another thing that you need to be aware of in this game is that dead silence, well, isn't. Dead silent is not silent. It may seem like it's silent on your end, but if there's anyone within like a 10-meter radius of you, they're going to hear this weird sort of like microwave ding sound. They're going to know that you have just popped dead silence, and therefore they will be on extra high alert for you to run around the corner whilst you think you're being super sneaky. This means that you need to be especially careful when you pop dead silence. I know this is counterintuitive because you're only going to want to pop dead silence when you know you're near enemies. However, what you need to do is pop dead silence when you're outside of the audio audio range of the enemies. Sometimes on certain maps like Farm 18 for example, you're going to need to pop dead silence pretty much in your own spawn and then hope to God that you manage to get a kill before that timer actually runs out so you can reset the dead silence timer and then you'll be able to continue your streak from there. Again, dead silence in this game is super useful if you can use it correctly. However, compared to previous iterations of this field upgrade, it really has taken a significant nerf since like Modern Warfare 2019 or Cold War or Vanguard. I actually don't know if it was in Vanguard because I fucking avoided that shit like the plague. Anyway, moving on. I just want to briefly remind you guys that in its current state, Ghost does not work. I mean, it will keep you off the minimap when the enemies have a UAV. However, how it's meant to work, how it is supposed to work, is that if you have a suppressor on your gun, whilst you have Ghost and there's an enemy UAV in the air, you're not meant to show up on the radar when you shoot. However, that is not the case, and when you shoot any gun, regardless of whether it's suppressed or not, Ghost will actually be deactivated for a few seconds after you fired that shot. This means that you might think that you have Ghost activated, you might think that you're not showing up on the enemy UAV. However, if you shoot, it will show up like it did in the older CODs, where every time you shoot, you show up on that minimap. This means that unless you're running around hiding and not getting any kills whilst the enemy has Ghost activated, Ghost is essentially useless in Modern Warfare 2, and as a result, I really would think twice about picking it. There are a lot of other good perks you could choose instead. For example, High Alert can prove to be very, very useful to stop people shooting you in the back, but it's just something to be aware of. Ghost isn't going to keep you off of the radar at all times, especially if you factor in the fact that you're not even going to have Ghost unlocked for the majority of the match. And then just finally, I have one more very small but very significant tip, and that is going to be to change your kill streaks to score streaks. I know a lot of you already know this tip. However, if you go into the score streak tab in the bottom left, there is a little switch that can turn them from kill streaks into score streaks. Now, a lot of people will think that this is useless if you play games like Team Deathmatch where there is no objective. However, in game modes like Free-for-All and Team Deathmatch where there is no other objective, you'll actually get 125 points per kill. This means that you still have to get the same amount of kills. However, you can also get points towards your score streaks by things like shooting down enemy aircraft or even resupplying people with a field upgrade. I can't overstate how important it is that you change your kill streaks to score streaks, because it is really going to help you get better at Modern Warfare 2 in the long run. But anyway, that's it for this short little Modern Warfare 2 tips and tricks video. I know that some of these might seem obvious to some of you. However, if you're new to the game, you might not know some of these mechanics, and by learning these, you will find that you improve so much more. Now, for those of you who have watched my channel for a while, you'll know that I love to see who sticks around until the end. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this question down in the comments. Would you fight a bear with your bare hands for £50,000? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.